I've got one that can see.
Yeah.
And why did he become the Candyman?
No, I get it. It's the hood, gentrification, etc.
Artists gentrify the hood. Who do you think makes the hood? The city cuts off a community and waits for it to die.
Message!
It was the Candyman.
I'm the Candyman. Oh! An explosion happened. And blood and guts and spit and ass was everywhere. And bubblegum crawling out the back door.
Now that's Lieutenant Dan.
Lieutenant Dan! Or maybe it was, your mother.
Help me, someone! Help me, someone!
They said the hate that had killed the young artist had created something evil. Hate generates hate. Evil breeds evil. This man couldn't lash out in life, but in death, that hate, that evil was strong enough to bring him back. Message!
Tell everyone.
Like when I'm about to review something on Letterboxd and I make the mistake of scrolling down and reading other reviews first.
Right.
And I'm like,
yeah.
Oh, does this movie suck? Do I need
to
rethink?
Yeah.
I was just about to give this 4 stars. Asshole? What am I?
Yeah.
Derek's probably like, everybody gave this 4 stars. That means I got to go 2.5. Maybe
flatten
3.
That curve.
Yeah, maybe
flatten that curve.
3.
Well, you like it more than Goosebumps?
It's it's funny because I watched this when it came out, not in theaters, but like whenever it came on streamers.
Yeah,
I logged it exactly 3 years ago. It was December 2021.
Oh shit!
And I gave it 3.5 stars. And now having just watched half of it, I'm like, I don't know. I kind of like this feels more like a 4 to me. But I haven't watched the other half again that I'd have to watch. I don't know where. Yeah, I don't know. But
well, I will say that I really enjoyed, I'd say 95% of it.
Yeah, I think I'd go like 85.
Are we just completely skipping Day of the Dead?
Well, I don't know how much of a like I get let's go ahead and talk about 3 real quick.
All I really have to say about 3 is at the beginning I was like, oh, that's what's her name from Baywatch, you know?
Oh, is that who that is?
Yeah, and I was like, oh, so it's
Donna Derrico.
It's that 90s
Playboy Playmate,
movie,
dude.
You know, so when I realized it was her, I thought that was just going to be the intro. And she was just going to die, kind of like at the beginning of one of the scary movies.
She's related to Tony Todd, apparently.
That's
an
interesting choice.
Well, I mean, he did, fall in love, with a white chick. So anyway, like I thought that was just going to be, she's just in the intro of the movie, and she's going to die at the climax of the intro, and then
that's how that opening scene feels. It feels like
it's just like a setup, like
super slashery, like
right.
Yeah.
But then whenever it dawned on me that, oh no, she's the main character, I was like,
yeah,
fuck.
They really made Candyman into sort of Freddy Krueger.
Yeah.
And then, but it was Freddy Krueger in a Skinamax movy.
That's that's my notes as well. It was like just titties and bees, huh?
And like, so I
mean, the titties are like C's and D's. They're not B's.
What's funny is Donna refused to do nudity for this movie. She was like, I don't want to do nude scenes for the movie. I'm a legit actress. And they're like, well, you do a shower scene? She said, if you angle the camera in a way that it's not a nude scene. And they're like, okay. And so that's why we get her in the shower. But then they made every other actress have a nude scene in this movie.
She really tried to take this seriously. Like, I will give her credit.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Give it her all.
I just don't understand. Look, I understand that like horror movies and boobs are like synonymous at this point, but like of all the fucking movies that it doesn't make sense for, Candyman doesn't make sense the most.
Yeah.
It just tonally, I've never seen a movie so desperately trying to be like, this is sexy. And like at every turn, it's like, nothing about this is sexy.
Nope.
Yeah. No, that was low budget 1990 horror movies.
Yeah.
And,
right.
And what's
this
funny
one was
about
like
this
porn.
one, what's funny about this one was like, even though I had that response or that initial reaction, the longer the movie went on, it wasn't the movie because I didn't like the movie, but that's okay.
Yeah.
It's whatever. But the vibe of that movie did make me stop and think for a minute of how much I miss those shitty late night, like horror movies back then when I was a teenager, just flipping through the channels and landing on one on HBO. And like,
that's the thing, is that I wish it was a better movie because I dig the vibe of it, but it's so like at odds with itself. And then like the writing is just like, holy shit.
If it one of my notes is just, it would have been one of those like so bad it's good type schlocky movies. But having
Tony
seen
Todd's
the first two Candyman films, you're like, this has no business being in this franchise.
No, and it's like every character in that movie except for Tony Todd is the dumbest. They make the dumbest choice every time.
Motherfuckers. Tony Todd just looks mad to be there.
Yeah.
Like
and he's barely in it this time.
Barely in it, which is what I thought was funny, because you were talking about how you don't like the first one because you've got this great, rich, like black character with this backstory, and they just focus on it through a white woman. They try to fix that with the second one, and then the third one, they're like, no, it's all about this white woman now.
They fucking like, man,
we're doubling down.
Yeah, like it really makes me appreciate the first one now.
Yeah,
it's like, and then especially after like finishing this series, this franchise so far, really makes me reappreciate the first one for so many reasons.
Yeah. Like all the reasons.
All the reasons. And
wow. Yeah. Apparently, after the success of Freddy vs. Jason, Lionsgate wanted to make a crossover using Candyman, and the only other lucrative figure they had the rights to at the time, Leprechaun.
That
dude.
And the idea was pitched to Tony Todd, and he immediately shot it down, saying it's too ridiculous and disrespectful to a character as tragic as Candyman.
I mean, I 100% agree on that.
Totally.
But
it's like, come on, dude. Yeah,
come on. Was this
after this? I'm like, could we sink lower? Let's find out. Yeah.
Was this before 3 or after?
It had to be after.
It had to have been right after.
If it's after, then I'm like, all
Freddy
right.
vs. Jason was what, 2003, so after. I wonder why they didn't. I wonder if there was a specific reason outside of maybe lack of interest for newer Candyman films, but I wonder why they waited so long to do something else.
I think a lot of studios probably feel it's a really tricky title to, especially like with
trying to reinvent
socials. Yeah, and shifting social perspectives and stuff.
Yeah.
And like, you know, they and not that there's anything really that crazy in any of these, I feel, but I can see studio heads being really scared of them.
Oh
Being
yeah,
really scared of,
for
like,
sure.
Reactions and shit, like if they get it wrong.
Yeah.
And
and it has to be the right creators, right? Which I think with this new one, the newer one, it was like it just.
I thought the foundation of that story was for the newest one was fucking great. Like I loved all of it.
My only issues with that movie are just typical issues of modern horror, where it feels like it was some parts it was rushed and like edited a little weird. Like there's a couple shots where I'm like, what? And it was, you could tell, that it needed to be an R, and they needed to be able to show more of what happens in that one. You could feel like a lot of the kills were just butchered out. It felt.
Yeah, I did think that it was pretty creative how they chose to do it.
Yeah,
like especially the bathroom scene where he kills all the girls and you watch everything unfold through the little makeup mirrors.
Yeah.
I thought that was interesting. That was cool.
Was good. That was
cool.
Yeah.
Well, the fact that he's only in the mirror throughout the movie
that's where it gets a little weird for me, but I still dig it. It's
because of his weakness. There's like they talk about how he wasn't, because she says the Cabrini Green, they all made a vow to not speak of him after the events, and so Candyman had grown weak in the years, and that's why he couldn't come into the real world as like at 100% as a physical manifestation. He was only in the mirrors and stuff, so and that's why he gets to that level at the end. Yeah.
So, question. Now I'm just gonna ruin it.
Here we go.
I'm just gonna ruin it. I'm sorry. So
God damn it, we were so close.
This movie takes place. It's a direct connection with the first one. Takes place in the exact same setting.
Yes.
It ties into the same story.
Yes.
But a different Candyman from the first movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
Even though they expanded on now. He was the main Candyman, but over the years, there's been multiple.
I think so. I think
there's two. Hold on. So there's two active Candymen in the same location.
No. So there's only ever one Candyman in a location. I think that if you look back at the first one, you could say that like the spirit of Candyman was in that drug dealer, the fake one at the beginning of it. Like that was the Candyman for that area at the time, and then that Candyman was gone.
I thought that he was just
he was, but I think that
opportunistic.
He was
bad opportunistic drug dealer.
Yes, I do think that is part of it.
You're talking about
but
Sherman
I think
Fields. I thought it was nuts.
That's the thing. Is it that guy? Was that the guy?
No.
No, Sherman Fields was just some other weirdo.
He was in the beginning who had they were accusing him of putting
the razor blades
in candy. Turned out there were still razor blades in candy after the cops beat him to death.
Right,
and they're like, "Oh, he was innocent." But
whenever
that whole scene of the little kid with him in the laundromat,
scary as fuck.
Yeah, and fast forward like to 30 years later, he's running a laundromat. Yeah, it's like, dude, that was like the most like fucked up, like what are you doing? Like, why are you running?
And then we find out
you're re-traumatizing yourself.
But the theory was that there was always multiple Candymen, a whole hive of them, if you will, and then then Helen just didn't. Helen just didn't get into the later stories. She found out about Robitaille and just kind of stayed focused on that, and that's how hers like unfolded. But that's what they're talking about, is every time there's going to be peace and everyone's like done talking about it, that's why Coleman Domingo's character is like, no, we need to have a Candyman.
Wait, so to go back to the third one, what year is that supposed to be taking place in? That's
2020 apparently.
Right? So, yeah.
Well,
yeah, because it's the daughter of, she's the baby of the mom in the second one.
The third one, the Skinamax one, is supposed to be in 2020.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
they got it all wrong.
So that's a fucking future movie?
That is a future movie.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
To be real, I mean, to be fair to Candyman 3, 2020 fucking sucked too.
Yeah, that's true.
Like
they predicted it, I guess.
Yeah. Okay, so that just falls a little bit off. I still like the movie, but it still falls off.
It's kind of like
rails
Green Lantern, honestly. It's
what?
It's well, no, like the actual concept of
Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah. Well, the actual concept of Green Lantern, where like there's like one dude there's one ring that has the power, and then like it's different people. So Daniel Robitaille is the ring,
right? It's just
it's just a hook.
Yeah, the hook is the ring.
Right. So Tony Todd, Candyman, is in the place in 1991, and then this Candyman, who died in 1970 by cops, comes back in 2021. Okay, all right.
Yeah,
I guess it could be argued that maybe it isn't actually a Tony Todd in the first one.
That's a Tony Todd.
That's a Tony Todd.
That's a Tony Todd.
That's a Tony Todd.
That's
a confirmed Tony Todd sighting.
Confirmed Tony Todd.
Confirmed. Yeah, it's documented. There's
Fair
film
enough.
footage.
Fair enough.
Yeah. The footage has been reviewed numerous times. Written affidavits. But okay, I'm done. Yeah, it was. Yeah. So okay. So there's just two whatever.
I'm glad that we were able to really nail this down.
Yeah. However, I do like the idea that they've expanded on that, where he's the first one, obviously, and over the decades, there's more.
Yeah, they explore it a bit in the
like
credits by showing actual people who have been wrongfully executed by like police brutality and shit in history
and white mobs and all of that. Yeah. I thought the artistry of this film is fucking great.
Yeah.
The really cinematography was, the sound design was incredible.
Beautifully shot.
The cinematography, all the cinematography was great. The sound design was great. The music was great. The fucking how they balanced the sound and how creepy some of those the sound design surrounding Candyman himself was like genuinely fucking impressive.
There were some of the most genuinely, I haven't been creeped out by as many like moments in a movie in a long fucking time. Like whenever they first went into the laundry room and I saw the hole in the wall, I was like, these walls are too clean. This doesn't look like fucked up enough. And then he started fucking around in the hole, and I was like,
fuck off.
Fuck off.
Yeah. Like you said, Derek, when he steps out, it's like that moment where you have to question, like, am I seeing I seeing real
childhood
or not?
nightmare.
Yes. That frozen in fear.
Yeah, like he's like a fucking like sleep paralysis demon walking out of a wall.
Yeah, it's that, I think it plays that trick on your brain of like, that's not supposed to happen.
Yeah,
like,
even though you know there's a hole there.
Right, yeah. As soon as they showed that, I was
it's also like the existential concept of like, there's a dude living in the walls.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's weird. Fuck off.
Yeah, that's not cool. It's not cool at all.
That really ups just a guy living in walls ups the creep factor.
Yeah. That's like there's that movie,
especially public walls.
Yeah. He's seen some shit.
I'd prefer that.
Yeah,
instead of my own.
I think I would just prefer not to have the. Yeah,
right.
I mean, private walls. Yeah, that's a different situation as well.
Yeah. But yeah, and the how they wove that story, how they connected the fact that he was the baby that was taken in the first film. I didn't even think about that until
they fucking said it. The whole time, like, they're talking about it. That's my favorite part of the first movie. It never fucking occurred to me that he would be the baby.
If you rewatch it when he's first hearing about Helen, when his girlfriend's brother's telling the story, he's so captivated by it. It's what draws him into the story, and you don't realize, he's talking about you. Like, it's
yeah.
But yeah, so the way that they built on the myth of him, I thought was really cool. At the end when Candyman's walking around the car and they're flashing to the different, or he's morphing in the mirror or in the reflection of the window, where he's morphing into all different versions.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was really cool, but I was hoping that there would have been a scene where one of the cops was like on the ground and it showed from his perspective or behind him, and all of them were standing around him. I was waiting for that shot where it would have been Tony Todd
and assemble.
Oh man, with our powers combined, we can save the bees.
I was so happy that they gave him the Tony Todd face. But I was so happy that they gave him the Tony Todd face at the very end because that was that was really cool. Also, that fucking I know it was partially just because like you don't have the biggest budget for this movie for effects, but like the way that he like floats and like jerks and like in the alleyway, it's so
in the third one, super sick those effects.
Wait, are we talking about the third one or fourth?
No.
Justin,
I was just joking.
Justin, I'm not talking to Derek anymore.
You can talk to me, I'll relay it to him.
Okay. Tell him he's a big duty head.
Wait, are you saying the way he floats in part 4?
Yeah, at the end when he's just like,
you saying it's good or bad?
It was good. Like,
because
it looked, because it was kind of janky, it like made it creepier.
Yeah.
But I feel like the genesis of Candyman floating around with bees does come from 3. Like it doesn't happen in 1 and 2.
And that I don't. That's the interesting thing is I don't. I guess he does walk the whole like down the.
He does have legs.
Parking garage.
Yeah.
Oh, number in the first one.
Yeah, he doesn't really do because you would expect him to do like a Nancy from the Craft move, but he really doesn't.
But that we talked about that in the first one. They didn't give his steps audio because they wanted it to feel like he was floating. So that's probably why they went that route for the fourth one. Is like a reference to that,
right? But
realistic. I was going to make a dumb joke. Go ahead.
Please do.
No. I was just going to say the boom mic probably was broke that day, and then they didn't, or that week. And then they probably were like, God damn it, Gerald, you didn't catch any of these fucking footsteps.
No,
there's not.
Gerald's like, actually, I think that makes him creepier.
Yeah, I mean, whatever, dude.
Actually, you know what? That's a good idea. We're going to run with it.
Yeah.
You're still fired.
Yeah.
Anyway, go ahead.
And you're not getting credited.
Yeah. Fuck.
Well, we didn't use footsteps, so.
Yeah. Sorry. Go ahead.
I don't think I had a good point to make. It was just it was something along the lines of just the third one and him floating around in bees. I thought it was there were like bits and pieces of the third one that I thought were cool, and that's one of them. Like, and it didn't look good. I don't think the effects of the bees look good, but the concept I think was there because they didn't do that in the first and second, and probably for good reason because they didn't have the technology or money to make it look good. So the third one was like, fuck it, like we don't either, but we're gonna do it anyways.
I thought some of the like gore effects in the third one were pretty decent. Like the way that they made him look in some of the shots was pretty good, but that was about it. That was about the only thing.
I think one part in the third that was really bad with the effects was in the end when he like opens his coat, reveals his like open chest and bees and stuff. Like that was such a bad prosthetic. It was just
I loved how shit it was. But I guess at that point it's because I'm watching that movie. So I'm like, for this movie, that's pretty good.
Yeah, but his fucked up chest cavity and his like intestines and stuff over the span of the first, second, and third movie just got shittier and shittier. Like, like it looked really cool in the first one. Like it, but they don't show that much of it. And the third one, they're like, fuck it. Like, just get it at Spirit Halloween and just like, let's show all of it.
Spirit Halloween. I like that you give them that kind of credit. That was, that was some Five Below ribcage work, actually.
Oh, man.
I was going to say, I again watched every minute of it. I do not remember him floating. The only thing when I think back
in the subway.
Oh,
he's just like for the first time you see him, he's in the subway because she says his name 5 times, leaves the art show, and she's in the subway. And then you just hear Caroline. He's just like starts floating.
Like,
he just starts floating. A bunch of bees are coming, but the bees looked awful.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, when I think back at 3, the only thing that keeps replaying in my head, I mean, almost the only thing, is her trying to scramble up like a 4-foot rock and falling over and over and over, over and over again, to the point where they just reuse the same footage of her falling down the fucking rock over and over and over again. was like a 5-minute fall scene.
I think I blocked that out of my head.
It was so
I don't
long.
remember that at all.
The parts of the third one that stand out to me are the goth gang reveal.
Yeah. What
congregation?
Like it was so dumb that I just forgot about it until you said it. Immediately went, oh no, that shit.
I had two specific notes. I had two specific notes. One about her and one about the goth gang. One that says we're family and this is how you fucking treat me because her and him are related. And it's like what the fuck, dude? And then I'm part of your people and this is how you're treating me. Like I'm in a gang. I'm in an underground gang in an abandoned building specifically set up in your honor and you're going to kill me?
Well,
I
think it's
would be
because
honored to die by his hook, right?
Because
he didn't look it.
I think he thinks they're fucking dorks.
Probably.
Also true, yeah.
I mean,
I didn't ask you to do this.
There's no rhyme or reason on who Candyman kills.
Yeah.
No.
In those 3 movies. Like you could summon him and he could kill you or he could kill people that are around you.
Right. Just to fuck with you.
Yeah. But there's no like
the first one, it's almost as a punishment to her because she's not related to him, right?
No, she's just
the first one. No,
she's just working on her master's degree.
No, but he's kind of like it's almost like the reincarnation of his love. Like
it's like a love story.
Yeah.
That's what and that's Bernard Rose wanted to come back and do a prequel documenting their love instead of what we got with part 3.
Right.
So he wanted to go back to 1800s?
I guess. I don't know. That's something
hard movie to sell.
Yeah.
That's a really hard movie to sell.
Yeah, there'd be no paranormal anything.
I mean, there might be.
Yeah, maybe.
Nah.
Well, if it could start out with him getting killed and then he starts fucking
the first one's just a salt rock man.
Yeah.
I don't understand that reference. I'm just laugh, and I'm just going to go with it.
Well, it's before Candy.
Yeah.
Before
Candy. Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh, before that one.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
The best jokes are the ones you have to explain like that.
Yeah, no, for sure.
That's a good question. What kind of candy did they have back in 1890?
The kind that breaks your teeth.
Yeah. And like molasses, lozenges.
Lozenges.
I'm trying to remember what I bought in
Apples.
Salem. It's at the oldest candy shop in America sells these little like molasses candy cane type things called blackjacks, and then these other like they're the powdery like after dinner mint style candies that were lemon and peppermint flavored, and they were fucking delicious. But that's what they had hundreds of years ago.
Yeah.
That was pretty much it.
Maybe some rock candy.
So yeah.
Poof.
It's
come a long way.
Mainly snow cones and cotton candy.
I don't think those were invented yet, were they?
No.
I don't think so.
Other thing I loved about the third one, and I'm saying loved, not meaning it at all. Just like a moment that made me fucking laugh out loud was the fucking cop at the end, the racist cop, like who snaps and just starts,
what
like
the fuck?
giving himself the
what a fucking weird B story.
But when he gets shot in the back and the dude that shoots him comes out from the side 10 seconds later, like, whoa, and I'm like, did he just curve his bullet like in Wanted? What the fuck happened here? How did he hit him from there?
Right.
And then they're just like, oh man, this piece of shit racist cop just happened to be here. We'll just blame him for everything, and that'll get the story buried. Like, got it. Yeah.
So
well, those racist cops were just so. It was such like bad writing.
So over the top.
It was so way too on the nose. It was just like, come on, man. Like, you know.
I like that the one guy's even like the bad cop is like, you're being too much of a bad cop, dude.
Right?
Like,
it was
like,
too much.
Calm down. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Dude, speaking of bad cops, the end of the fourth one, holy shit, fucking incredible. Like,
I was a little thrown off because so the crazy laundromat guy, that's his name.
Burke.
Crazy laundromat Burke. He So whenever it cuts to them in the church, he's on the phone and he's calling the cops, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So at that point, have the cops? I didn't feel it was ever established if the cops had suspected. Again, I'm horrible with fucking names.
Anthony McCoy.
Yes. What is that? Who's that?
Yeah,
Candyman.
Candyman guy, the one who turns into him.
Yeah.
Okay, that guy.
The artist. Yeah.
The artist.
Yeah.
Had it?
What's his name? The actor?
Yahya Abdul-Mateen the second.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What a fantastic actor
That's
that guy is.
He's
like fucking like he's such a talented fucking guy.
My only problem with it is like, bro, go to the fucking hospital.
I kept saying that the whole
when he's like
movie.
picking at his hand, I'm like, come
and also,
on,
like,
man.
Dude, you're past the point. Go to the hospital.
Yeah, and also, why is no one commenting on this?
No
like,
one. No one cares.
He's at a really nice, expensive dinner, like very expensive dinner, like very. And somebody's just like, "Don't do that."
Yeah,
like what? Like he's
Maybe
bleeding all
they
over
all
the fine
thought he
china.
was capable of murder.
And yeah. So anyway, so at the point when Burke places the phone call to the cops at the end, were the cops even was Anthony even like a suspect in all of this? Because they didn't really make it clear.
Sort of. I don't think that they did the best job of like.
That's where I felt like it kind of got rushed or kind of
they sort of did, just because he was in proximity to all the murders.
Yeah, he was the last one to see her live.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Because they showed up and like they just immediately shot him. And
that's cops.
And that I will say that's cops.
Well, yeah, of course.
Also, how they shot that was fucking terrible. Like he's laying on the ground and he.
Well, that's what I mean. I was like, that's why it kind of threw me off. I was like,
I didn't know who they shot at first.
Well, yeah, I figured they shot him.
Well, I figured, but also like visually, I was like, wait, did they shoot him or did they shoot Burke?
Right. Yes. Yeah. That's what I was kind of.
Well, Burke was already dead.
Right.
And he said that. Like, pretty sure he's dead.
He was dead a lot.
But no, he had a giant hook for a hand. So
I think
that was the whole like.
Well,
he puts his hands up so it looks like a weapon, and that's why the cops immediately just unload on him.
No, he doesn't. Put his
laying
hand
in her
up.
lap.
He's gone. He's like unconscious.
Well, we don't see that though. We see kind of off screen, and she's just sitting there.
Oh,
and
I
the
thought
silhouette
that
of the cops come in and they go, "Put your hands up," and just immediately start firing.
I felt like I definitely saw a shot where she was holding him, and then the cop comes in and shoots.
There was.
Oh yeah,
there was.
We saw that.
Yeah, but so I was like, that's kind of one of those scenes where you watch and you're like, okay, I have to fill in what they meant.
Yeah, I think it just needed to be shot with more of attention to geographically how it was like.
I was hoping that, like, I'm not hoping. I don't want the guy to get shot because he wasn't a villain. But I was like, after watching it, I was like, man, I kind of wish they did that instead, where he's standing there in front of her and he gets shot as he's stumbling to her.
Yeah.
Like he comes by, like the cop comes behind, because at least that point it would look like
trying to pull her off of Burke.
Right.
Yeah.
But I also understand the point.
Yeah.
It's supposed to get across the fact of police walking in immediately shooting a black person without even thinking.
Yeah. It's kind of what the whole movie's about.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah.
And I fucking love, like, because I thought that was going to be the end of the movie, probably because that's how a lot of the other movies end, where it's just like, boom, whatever the climax happens, and now it's time for the credits. But like them taking her in the car, I was like, oh, where are we going now? And then I was like, oh, okay, sick.
Right.
And like, finally got to watch Candyman rip a whole bunch of motherfuckers to bits.
Yeah.
I wanted that for four goddamn movies now.
Right. But the only thing that I found myself thinking was Tony Todd's Candyman coming back and say, tell everyone. I was like, ooh, that's awesome. But then I was like, wait a minute, which kind of goes back to my notes about part 3 of going like, I'm your people. Why are you fucking killing me? Or we're family. Why are you doing this to me? And this situation, I wanted to be like, she's handcuffed, like already handcuffed. They're not going to listen to her. She's like, she's just going to go to a
well, no. I don't think he means like tell people that care about her being handcuffed. I think
no, I know.
Yeah. She's gonna
just make sure this legend lives on.
Right.
Yeah.
But
because she's free now. She's just gonna
no,
get away.
she's not.
What do you mean?
The cops pull in right behind her, and she's still handcuffed behind her, and she's surrounded by dead cops.
But they're focusing on the dead cops, and she got away. I thought she ran off.
No, she's standing in front of the fence.
There,
she's standing in front of the fence, handcuffed, and then the police cars come up right behind her.
I mean, that's how you get it fucking popping in jail. Candyman in prison. There's the next movie.
But anyway, so I was thinking I was waiting for Anthony's version of Candyman to break her handcuffs so that way she could get away or something.
Yeah.
But now she's just going to be arrested and have to deal with a bunch of assholes while she's just been through all of this. But I guess maybe that's what the Candymen, that's what I'm going to call them.
Candymen.
That the Candymen, grouping of Candymens.
Candymans.
The Candymans.
There you go.
The assemblage of Candymans.
Candy people, because Helen became one too.
Candy people. Yeah, the candy people. Maybe that's what they want is her to get arrested and then go crazy trying to tell all these cops of what actually happened, and then they're gonna start spreading the myth, being like, this crazy person. She just killed a bunch of cops, but she's blaming saying that the Candyman did it, and then it's just gonna explode, explore from there. Maybe that's what they mean.
Yeah. It would be
the candy people are a bit of a dick.
A big story if the cops, if there's any, I don't know if there's any surveillance footage or security cameras in that neighborhood, but it's you found her handcuffed on the other side of a fence where your officer was still bleeding out, and you think she's the one guilty of killing all of these police with her hands cuffed behind her back.
Right. I mean, that's a good
where's
point.
the weapon? These guys are all torn open with what looks to be some sort of blade, and she's still just got her hands cuffed behind her back. But
that's a good point.
Yeah,
I really want them to make more of these movies now. And keep expanding.
I was hoping
on
we'd get a follow up because this one did well. It was made for 20 something million, I think I saw, and it did over 70 million in theaters.
Oh,
and that's also, it suffered from COVID. It was supposed to come out in June of 2020. And it got delayed over a year.
Wow.
So, it was supposed to come out on my birthday. I was really excited for it and everything. Fucking pandemic bullshit.
Are there any talks of them doing another one?
I don't know. Nia went on to do the Marvels.
I think.
And then Jordan's got his own stuff going on. But I guess Jordan Peele was originally going to write and direct this one and then said, I just want to co-write and produce it. I'm going to have Nia direct it. And I thought it was great.
It's really good.
Yeah, I think
Coleman Domingo is such a fucking great actor, and I love seeing him in more stuff. But watching him and Yahya play off each other in the laundromat scenes.
Yeah,
but that's why somebody had mentioned in the, I can't remember where I read it, but they were she says that the entire area swore to never mention this again. So why is Burke mentioning it? We should have been suspicious of him from the jump that he's oh, here's everything you need to know about Candyman.
That is weird.
Well, it's so interesting because they barely the Burke part at the end kind of feels sudden a little bit, just because he just feels so normal for the rest of it. He's just a guy telling basic information, really. He's not I didn't feel him guiding any of that stuff, but
that's how he gets you. That's how good of an actor he is.
Got my ass.
I like that. I don't like, but I do like that they named a character Clive. I'm assuming based off of Clive Barker, but he was such a dickhead character. They couldn't have picked a fucking a nice guy,
right?
Yeah.
They also had an interracial gay couple in there, which was apparently an homage to Clive because he was in an interracial relationship for a long time.
Perfect opportunity to name one of them Clive. Why you gotta pick the fucking
that would have been a little too on the nose, Derek.
Right.
Oh, so you just want to name one of the gay guys Clive, Derek?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah,
of course.
Who's in an interracial couple? Dude.
Not all gay men are named Clive. Jeez. I will say the first kill was really like, I didn't know what I was very excited for this movie when I first saw it in theaters, and I didn't know what exactly to anticipate because I saw the trailer once and was like, okay, I'm never watching that trailer again. I need to go in as fresh as possible. But that first kill in the art exhibit when the dude's with his fucking like intern and he just fucking tears her neck open and he's like, is this real? What is going on? Just lays her down. It's just blood's pouring out. I'm like, oh fuck. And then the way he's like stalks him through the reflections and you see him in the glass and you see him in the mirror and you see him in this, but you don't see him right behind him. And then Achilles tendon shit always.
Well, that's a very creative Achilles tendon scene, right? Like you've never seen something like that. He's just pulling him by the Achilles tendon. You could see the hole like going through. Yeah, it was nuts.
Gross.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like this.
Anthony McCoy, I went down a whole rabbit hole of like trivia and shit while I was watching this again today. Apparently his full name is spoken 5 times before he becomes Candyman.
Nice.
So that was intentional.
It's interesting.
I was trying to figure out because the rules originally the rule was you have to say it 5 times unbroken in the mirror. If you say anything else between Candymans or you take enough time before you say it the 5th time, then you have to start over. Like it doesn't count.
Does that get mentioned in the earlier movies?
I don't know if it officially gets mentioned. I feel like it's just assumed or it's implied, and it doesn't seem to be the case here. So
in my head, all I see is somebody saying Candyman 4 times, and then Tony Todd or whichever Candyman is, I guess, on duty at the moment. They're behind the mirror and they're like, all right, let's go. And then the person goes, somebody said something, and then it throws them off. And they're like, fuck. All right, here we go. I'm just going to wait. And then they do it again, and then they get interrupted, and they're like, God damn it.
Well, no, because they already said it 4 times, and then they got interrupted. So then they say it the 5th time, and then they're just automatically like, see, it didn't work. And the other the Candyman's like, what the fuck? You would, oh, God damn it.
You got to say 5 times.
You hung up before you dialed the last one.
I'm just seeing
God damn it.
I'm seeing Tony Todd right now in like a little miniature, like in Beetlejuice, a little miniature fucking setup, just like, fuck. Get out of the model.
No wonder he kills you once you like he comes out, because he's like, he's just these stupid fucking people just can't get it right.
He's so pissed. He's not even killing people who deserve to be killed. It's like there's no real justice in what he's doing. He's just like I've been wronged, but I'm not going to go after those people or anyone. Like, I'm just going to fuck myself.
I can travel interdimensionally through mirrors, any mirror in the world, and I'm going to go after a teenager who says my name 5 times. Not going to go after anybody else.
And in the third one, I'm going to bang my great granddaughter. Jesus,
that was come on. Is that what he was trying to do? I thought he was trying to have like a family reunion.
That's certainly what the fuck it felt like.
Well,
there was a really weird, like intimate scene where I was like, wait, they're still related, right?
Yeah. Well, it's while she's having sex with Jesu, I think it was the guy's name.
Sure.
And then like he turns into Candyman.
Yeah,
which maybe is in her mind, I'm assuming, but like,
remember that.
But it's like she's banging her great grandfather in that scene. It's like, hey, a little weird. But then he does kiss her at the end of the movie, which is like,
I hate to bring it up again, but I guess again, the Creep-O-Rama staple. It all leads back to incest. I don't know why this happens. I don't know why this happens.
That is a weird thing in the second and third one, is the sexual tension with Candyman and his great granddaughter and then great granddaughter.
And it always kind of just feels like a weird, like, for the hype, for the like the steaminess of it. It never feels
90s.
like it's well, it's 90s, and it's like, I'm assuming white directors that are like, like we'll make it a little like,
well, that in studio, in studio, like I'm sure studio demands of like, it's got to be hot,
it's got to be steamier, it's like, but they're
related.
Like granddaughter, like grand uncle or some shit.
Yeah, granddaughters aren't hot.
No,
it's not.
No,
it's a little weird.
Yeah,
it's a lot of weird.
Yeah,
it's a lot of weird.
It makes more sense in the first one.
It makes more sense in the first because she's not related to him at all.
No.
There it is.
No.
That makes it better.
Yeah.
A little bit.
I know it's not quite what Derek's into, but
I'll allow it. The another fun thing about the third one, apparently filming was rushed.
Oh, was
it? Really?
And the director was only given 1 or 2 chances to film each scene.
You really can't tell. You can't tell at all.
Halfway through the movie, I was like, these are all first takes, aren't they? And then I looked up the info and I was like, oh, they are. They are all first
really
takes. Like,
got it.
Well,
rolling.
yeah.
Well, the
Don't
director
stop. Go, go, go.
Go. Yeah.
The director has 3 movies, directed 3 movies.
Yeah.
We've only got this room for 2 more hours. Let's get 5 more shots in.
Alien Express in 2005.
That sounds amazing.
Real fun. Yeah.
Looks like 77 people watched it on Letterboxd. There's 7 reviews. I think we should watch that.
Yeah, the director's done like a couple episodes of Buffy and
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then mostly produces stuff.
Dude. He fucking wrote Chairman of the Board, the Carrot Top movie.
Holy shit. Wow.
Ooh, Alex Zam is the director.
Alex Zam?
Oh, wait, no.
Oh,
I'm sorry. No.
I was like,
Alex Zam directed that movie, but the director of Candyman 3, Turi Meyer, Turi Meyer, wrote Chairman of the Board. There you go.
Gotcha.
You should have spelled it
And Leprechaun 2.
Bored.
He wrote Leprechaun 2.
What?
Yeah.
No way. What the fuck am I missing here?
And Wrong Turn 2.
And Wrong Turn 2.
I mean, that kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
That really makes sense.
The more you're telling me about this guy, the more I'm like,
But again, Leprechaun 2, that's a standout movie.
Yeah.
That was a great film.
Yeah,
Leprechaun.
You know what?
Hold on.
Wait,
Let me walk back.
Godfather, Leprechaun 2,
Candyman 3.
yeah.
What I was going to say is correct myself. That was a good film within the Leprechaun franchise.
That was a good Leprechaun movie.
That was a good Leprechaun movie.
Leprechaun does not have the same rich, tragic backstory that Candyman
I feel like it
has.
could be absolutely argued that Candyman 3 is also a standout movie in the Candyman franchise.
Yeah.
Maybe for different reasons, but
Leprechaun 3 was the one in Vegas, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's
Leprechaun
the
2
one.
was
The good
Lawnmower and
That's right.
Big Belly Kill, whatever.
yeah,
That's right.
robot prostitute.
Yeah. But they were gonna, and then they were gonna put Candyman and Leprechaun up against each other. So maybe Turi would have written that one too. But then they were
That
like,
would have been amazing.
maybe not.
I really wish that would have happened. I think it would have. I 100% agree with his reasoning, but man, just leaning into it, just being.
I want to know
ridiculous.
how, because like we've talked about Freddy versus Jason. It's shocking that they went through like 25 plots before they were like, what if Freddy just uses Jason to scare people so that he can be Freddy again? And they're like, oh, that's clearly the most obvious fucking
12 years
to
into
put
it.
these people together. Like that
Finally
makes the most sense. How do you get Candyman and Leprechaun together? Like,
Yeah.
Leprechaun is looking for a way to get rid of some curse, and the only way to do it is somehow in New Orleans, where he
so we're going back to New Orleans.
Yeah, it's an entirely New Orleans Leprechaun, which I think would be fucking hilarious.
That would be cool.
Him going through all the voodoo and like Mardi Gras and all that shit. It's essentially,
And he's dancing. There's going to be a dance scene.
It's really ridiculous.
Obviously.
And then
He gets so many beads.
Yeah, so many beads. He has
beads.
so many beads that he can't move. And so, at some point, the fucking necklace gets thrown on him as beads. That's part of the plan.
Yes.
But he's trying to use Daniel Robitaille to. It's essentially Freddy Krueger rules, where for some reason, if he brings Daniel Robitaille back, Daniel Robitaille can like summon a voodoo witch or some shit. I don't know.
Maybe
or he finds out that the person who took his gold is a descendant of Daniel Robitaille, and so summons the Candyman and tries to make a deal like you can have her as long as you get me
me gold.
And it's a future movie. It takes place in like 2045.
Yeah.
it's Robitaille's great granddaughter.
Yeah, she's running away from him the whole time because he wants to bang her.
He bangs her too. Yeah,
he's part robotic beehive.
Oh Jesus!
Yeah, I was gonna say, well, I like the descendant aspect of it. She runs into Leprechaun, and then I figured that she would just summon. Be like, fuck you, you're a leprechaun. If you like, I'm already fighting one myth. I'm gonna bring
Candyman
my grandpa to come in, but that wouldn't work because, as we've established in these movies, he kills everybody, even his own family members.
Maybe that's why it works is because she brings him out thinking that he's going to protect her, and he doesn't give a shit. He just starts killing everybody.
Yeah. Either that, or it could be. Sorry, everybody who's listening. It's just what you got to do.
Thank you to the studios who are going to make
this. Don't you dare apologize. They knew what they got into when they pressed play on this shit.
Or
how many episodes are we in?
Gone off on a weird fucking tangent.
We're
still talking about the movie at hand.
Yeah, or a group of teenage youths who are up to no good. Youths who are up to no good.
It's just two Australian vehicles in the two youths.
A group of youths, they're up to no good. They
started making trouble in your neighborhood.
Get off my lawn. So they happen to unearth a leprechaun, but since it takes place in New Orleans, they know the myth of Candyman, so they bring that guy out too. Something to that effect, because you got to summon both of them. That's the problem with these two characters. Like, you got to stumble upon a leprechaun, not easy. Well, and then you got to summon the other one.
Leprechaun gets awakened or summoned or arrives in a completely different fucking way in every movie. So we could just have him show up. Like, you just climb out of a fucking tree stump again and be like,
yeah, that would be on par.
Like, maybe we make it a sequel to this newest Candyman where Leprechaun finds out that his hook is made of gold or something. And then he's like, I got to get my hands on that. And
Helen's still alive. She goes back to school to write a thesis on the Leprechaun.
There it is.
Yeah.
This has happened to me twice. What the fuck?
Like, what is going on?
Yeah.
I quit. I'm gonna go work retail. I'm done.
Yeah.
Amazing. Helen was supposed to have more of a role in the new one, apparently, but they scrapped that like mini subplot, but that is still her voice, Virginia Madsen's voice in the tapes that he listens to.
Gotcha.
They got her for that.
Going back to like the foundation that how they built upon the foundation of the first one was great.
Yeah.
And I really felt that they set it up to go on and do this so many more times, because now that there's different candy people,
candy
dudes.
It's just like Doctor Who, right? So like now you can pretty much all the other fucking horror people at this point, like there's so many different versions of them that it's like Candyman was kind of the only one where you couldn't, and this one really rectifies that.
Yeah.
Is this how they're gonna try to reboot Freddy again? Is because I talked about this recently when somebody was like, Freddy's
didn't work really.
Yeah, because you can't replace Robert Englund.
No. I think, and that's the thing is, I think
unless you come up with like a really good reason why or a really good story,
Freddy wouldn't have been as successful as he was were it not for Robert Englund. So it's almost like he is the character. So as soon as you take him out of it, it's not.
It's just so different.
Yeah.
Like this one was so, showing a new Candyman.
Yeah.
Through most of the movie, I was like, damn it, I really wish, like, why didn't you just get Tony Todd throughout the whole fucking movie? But I did enjoy what they did of showing Candyman. Showing the whole thing, every minute of that guy on screen. I was like, I really wish this was Tony Todd, but also like I'm really enjoying what they're doing with this figure.
This one felt way scarier.
100%.
Tony Todd was never scared me, even as a kid. I just kind of was like, haha, cool.
He's just cool.
He's very cool.
He's just cool as
awesome.
fuck.
Yeah. I also really loved the play on what they played with the mirror. The very beginning, the opening credits, the Universal logo flip back, the MGM logo flip back, all the logos.
I actually looked up.
Backwards.
I was like, did I fuck up?
Me fucking too. I was like, wait a minute, how did? And then I was like, that doesn't happen. There's no setting on my TV that flips your screen.
Well, yeah, but who knows? Who knows what the streaming services have done?
Right? Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So I thought, that was creative. I really liked how they just did little things like that.
Yeah.
Especially with the bees
opening
being able
credits, looking up at the skyline or the buildings as opposed to down like they did in the original Candyman.
Yeah. They put a lot of attention to detail in how they shot and made that movie. Outside of just the creep factor, there was just a lot in it where watching the scenes and how it was filmed and the little creative choices they did, I was like, Jesus, man, this is actually genuinely really, really good.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. It also benefits, like going back to the Freddy comparison, I guess, it also benefits from the fact that Freddy was in 9 movies before we got a remake. So Robert Englund had really cemented his role as Freddy, and we saw the development and evolution there. Whereas Tony Todd was in Candyman, like peak Candyman in the first movie, good Candyman in the second one, barely in the fucking third one that no one wants to remember even exists. And that was it. And then this one's like, we're even going to even ignore the second and third one and kind of pick right up with the first one so we can establish new Candyman immediately.
Yeah.
And so I think that makes it a little bit easier to stomach. But yeah, the scenes that got me was when he's in the hallway and he's like looking at the reflection and it's Sherman Fields looking back at him and he's like,
ooh, yeah.
And they were just like hanging out. Yeah, dude, that was fucked.
But then she opens the door and she's like, are you okay? And he looks in the mirror and sees Sherman peeking out from like the shower curtain behind her, but only in the reflection for a moment.
Whoa, really? I didn't catch that.
Oh,
fuck! All right, I gotta go.
You gotta watch it again.
There was another. One, I can't remember what scene it was, but there was another one that was like that where it was a reflection, and then something happened, and then it went back to the reflection, and he was in the reflection only, and I was like, oh, it's so good.
Also, this is the part of the episode where we're just like, oh yeah, that was cool. That was cool.
Yeah.
That was cool. That was cool. My favorite kill scene was the zoom out of her apartment and just watching her get fucking wrecked and just her face smashing against the sliding glass door window and just getting dragged across it as the camera keeps panning out. Man, like I've never seen a kill scene like
shot.
that.
Yeah. Such a cool shot. I think that's what really like sells this movie for me is how like just unique all the angles, the way that it's shot. The music in this one's amazing. Yeah. And having watched it right after the third one definitely makes it look like a masterpiece again.
It elevates it a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, this one was, I mean, not to shit all over the original, but this one was my favorite of all 4 of them, like easily. Yeah. But it wouldn't be as good as it is without obviously the first one.
Yeah.
It just balanced it and it improved upon the first one or the whole overall story so much.
It makes me appreciate the first one a lot more.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's so like, because I remember being impacted by that last scene, but also being like, okay, cool, but we don't really like, it doesn't really go, even like we have 2 more movies and it doesn't really follow anything that happened in the first one.
Right.
And like this one is finally like, oh, cool. Like I finally sort of get a payoff for that. That's right. Cool.
Yeah. All these years later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like that baby would have been fucked up, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a lot for a baby to go through.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah. He was like transported into a different whatever that fucking
and then a fucking burnt Barbie doll handed him to his mom. That's fucked up, man.
Yeah.
Like you do.
Yeah.
I thought this was funny in the third one. Her roommate or her friend in the third one, the actress Alexia Robinson, she's done 3 movies.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so
Alien Express.
No, Total Recall.
Oh, what?
The original?
Yeah.
Wow.
Nutty Professor.
Oh, of course.
and Candyman 3.
Okay, you know what?
Right.
That makes
That's
sense.
it.
That makes
And
sense.
then just hung him up. Yeah, then hung him up after that.
Where do
While
you
you're
go
ahead.
after Candyman 3?
Yeah.
Anywhere you
Yeah.
want.
Anywhere.
Anywhere
Except
you want.
Not in Hollywood, apparently.
But I was curious, like, who was she in Nutty Professor? I don't know if you remember when he first turns into Buddy Love.
Oh yeah.
And she goes to, I think, Professor Clump's apartment, and he comes out of the room, and then there's 3 girls in the room with him. She's one of those girls.
Yeah, she's credited as sexy girl.
Yeah,
What does it say about me that I completely didn't even think of the fucking Eddie Murphy fucking Nutty Professor? I was thinking
thought
like
she was in the Jerry Lewis one.
This is
obviously.
So I looked up reviews for Candyman 3. This is I think the most brutal movie review I think I have ever read.
Jesus.
This is such a fucking great insult. It encapsulates all of like my feeling of like when I watched it, and like if I were to have directed this movie and read this line, I'd probably either give up or find this person to fucking punch. All it says is I should read more books. If I made a movie and somebody said that about my movie, I'd be like, I'm fucking
cold.
done. I am done.
Brutal.
That's the coldest fucking movie review I've ever read.
Yes, your movie has made me rethink what media I intake.
Wow.
Is quite the
man.
God damn.
Bravo.
Yeah.
I mean, it was deserved though.
Yeah.
So also, the actor Jesu Garcia, who plays in the third one, plays David, the guy that gets accused, right?
Yeah.
He's also in Nightmare on Elm Street, and he plays what's his name, cellmate, that's screaming after he gets his throat slit. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So he plays who? The cellmate?
Yeah, the cellmate.
In the remake? Yeah.
No.
Oh, in the original.
The original.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, gotcha.
Damn.
It was casted as Rod Lane, but I don't remember.
Oh, Rod Lane. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, Rod.
Wait,
Good
isn't
old
that
Rod.
isn't it the boyfriend?
No. Boyfriend's the one who gets killed in the cell.
Yeah.
That's
because
right.
he gets arrested for what's her name's murder, and then
That's right.
Freddy gets him when he's in prison because he goes to sleep. He's been up too long. He's wanted for murder. He's on the run. This is what you do.
Run.
You don't have time to sleep when you're on the run for murder, dude.
True.
Yeah, after like 4 days, you're done. So Freddy just plays the long game.
You gotta go to sleep one day.
Yeah, I'll just wait. Somebody's take it over.
I'm reading more reviews, and the one you listed is already pretty scathing, but people who say that 99 was the best year in cinema haven't seen this. Somebody else just said Blandy Man.
Blandy Man. Wow.
But it should be, where'd it go? It should be illegal to make a movie about a bee-covered hook-handed killer this boring.
That's fair.
It's just like I had mentioned it before because it's not just a Clive Barker thing, but it's happened now with 2 Clive Barker properties where the first movie has this incredibly iconic character that is technically like a side character to to a different story, and because that side character became so iconic, the studio was like, let's turn them into a slasher. And so Hellraiser 3 feels like a completely different fucking franchise than the first 2 Hellraiser movies. And then Candyman, almost immediately, they're like, let's make him a slasher.
Right.
And people are like, no, he's like this tragic character who has this like very rich backstory. Like, no, now you just say his name and he comes out and he fucking kills a dozen people with a hook. And
he's got to fuck somebody.
Yeah.
He's got to try to fuck somebody. Well, the only
He's got to fuck somebody who's probably related to him.
Yeah. His great grandniece or something. We'll figure it out.
Who knows? Fuck it.
Roll it.
This is Hollywood. We don't give a fuck about morals.
Whereas this studio made the third one, and then they were like, "Oh fuck, never mind," and just stopped. Whereas Miramax or whoever was in charge of Hellraiser was like, "We got to just keep
double
pumping
down
this shit out."
Yeah.
And then
what if we put out
Slasher
2
movies
a year?
after that? It was like, "Do you have a script we can insert Pinhead into?" And they were like, "Sure, try this one."
Even if your answer is no, you're hired.
Yeah. I'm genuinely surprised we didn't get like a rom-com or a musical with Pinhead in it at some point.
Yeah.
I am Hellraiser. I am a Pinhead.
And
look at that chains, they're coming for you. Welcome to hell.
And part 3, did I just have a fever dream, or did I dream
no, you were watching Candyman 3.
Yeah, right. It's a bit of both.
Or was there a scene where somebody was dancing or something like that, trying to be seductive, and it was a woman and she had a honeycomb in her hand?
Yeah.
What was going on there?
It was the art seller or gallery owner or whatever the fuck, the guy that was selling her artwork. It was his
3.
girlfriend. Yeah, in part 3.
Okay.
It was his girlfriend that was like seducing with like honey and honeycomb. And
That's right.
Yeah.
I forgot.
I kind of hope we would all
chunks
just
of that
act
movie.
like that absolutely was not in the film, and Justin's just having weird fantasies when he zones out.
I've been watching too many.
The movie was
Candyman
so
movies.
boring. I just started picturing this. Like,
I'm
what?
like, look, man, I've only seen like
fantasizing about bringing food into the bedroom.
Like, what, you get a
3 of
rewatch
these
it to
movies now,
prove
and
yourself right?
I'm really into honeycombs now.
Yeah.
You guys like hexagons? Like gooey hexagons?
Just me.
Yeah.
Sticky gooey hexagons, bro.
Yeah.
Sticky gooey hexagons.
No? All right, more for me.
It's the name of our band.
Sticky gooey hexagons is the name of the episode, I think.
Jeez.
Nice. Yeah.
Oh man.
Nice, dude.
God, yeah, that third movie. This is I don't like just continuously shitting on films.
No,
yeah, you do.
But when you watch a movie that bad, it's hard with the watch lists that we all have right now. I'm like, man, I could have done so much better with the last 90 minutes of my life.
Yeah.
And I feel, but then you worry about the people that made the movie, and you're like, oh, Tony Todd could have done so much better with like whatever 90 hours they had him on set for this one. They probably only got him for like a day or two, it feels like, but
yeah.
I like this.
It's just such a bummer.
Is good. This movie made me hate movies.
Jesus.
That's on par with this. This makes me want to read.
Right.
Read more.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
You got to wonder if they knew at any point, because like Donna, like we said, pretty much gave it her all. She took this very seriously. So you
she
almost
did
feel
better than I was
sorry.
anticipating.
Oh, for sure.
She must have known just like the history and the everything that goes into those, like what based on the first two movies, you're like, fuck, this is going to be important. Like this is this newly iconic franchise I'm so lucky to be a part of. And I'm wondering if like it wasn't until the movie actually came out that she was like, oh, was this bad? Or was there like halfway through filming where she was like, I don't think we're doing this movie justice at all? Because Tony Todd has said that he doesn't like this movie.
Oh, really?
I wonder why.
Surprising.
And I wonder if even he was on set like, what the fuck are we doing with this character? Like,
I guess it all depends on how much of the script was written.
Right.
Yeah.
That leads into a good question. Hopefully there's a good answer. What did he say, or have you guys read anything about him commenting on the new one when it came out? Like if he was stoked,
I don't remember.
I want to say he was pleased with it.
I mean, I'm sure he'd be happy, especially
because he was in it, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I figured maybe you guys read something about him talking about it. Maybe not. Sorry.
I thought I know he had commented on it. I just can't remember what it was verbatim. Sorry, I didn't lock that away for this episode. I forgot we would be discussing it. I should have remembered that when I read the interview a couple years ago. The movie.
The scene where going back to all this scene was cool too. The part where Burke just out of fucking nowhere starts sawing Anthony's hand off.
Yeah.
It was so quick.
I genuinely was like, geez, dude, like, whoa.
It was interesting because so much of the other kills had been like cut away from it.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming that was on purpose, that they were like, well, on this one, we're
made
really
it more
going to show
impactful.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was
that was fucked
that whole
up.
part in where they're just in that weird church was like, oh man, like this has a really interesting vibe to it.
Yeah.
I wanted more of that through the movie, honestly.
Yeah. And then shoving the fucking hook in his arm.
Yeah.
That was unsettling.
Brutal.
That was just unsettling. That was yeah.
I really liked the shadow puppets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really,
I thought that was really fucking cool.
Yeah.
It was creative and just a good way of like kind of, retelling some historical events and fucked up shit.
Yeah. I saw one mention of the style of art. The shadow puppets in the film used to convey the horrors of racial violence bear a strong similarity to the work of fine artist Kara Walker and her silhouette cutouts depicting racism and violence. So I thought that was pretty interesting. I'll have to. It makes me want to Google and look at her work because it was the imagery was just so fucking striking. And like what Josh was saying earlier, the whole credits, like I actually said and watched the credits for once,
which is funny because I didn't. And now I'm like, oh
really?
Man,
I would go. I would go watch them. They're
fucking check them out.
Fucked up.
Yeah,
it's fucking brutal.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah. It makes me wonder, like, maybe you've read something, Josh. Like, were those supposed to be scenes depicting how the other Candymen came to be, or were they just true stories of racial violence?
I think it's a bit of both. It's true stories about racial violence.
One of them
one man
was a kid.
Yeah, he was 14 years old when he was executed.
Right. That's right. Yeah. I remember reading that story. I think I remember seeing that picture.
Is that the white lady thing?
Well, I think a lot of them are.
No, you're thinking of the Emmett Till
Emmett Till.
one. He was murdered by like a lynch mob, I think.
Yeah.
This kid was legitimately tried and executed.
Yeah.
At the age of 14.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then another one was a guy who had been like dragged behind a truck by a lynch mob. But they retell those stories with the paper doll.
Yeah. The way that they depicted those were so striking and just like, I know it sounds fucked up to say it was well done, but the way that they depicted it and how they did it was that was heavy.
Damn. Yeah. Go back and watch that. I think that's my favorite part about it is that they really like this one finally gave me that like respect of the fucking like mythology that I wanted.
Yeah.
Like that's why I was excited for you to see it after all of your complaints from the first one. I was like, oh, when he sees the new one, he's gonna be so happy.
They're just so good. Like, and it's weird because I feel like obviously it did fine. It did really good, but I feel like the trailer could have like gotten that across a little bit better that they were gonna respect. Like obviously not like tell the whole story, but like
I didn't watch the trailer.
Yeah, it just didn't do anything for me. It was just kind of like, here's a movie. I was like, oh, okay.
I think a lot of people were confused by it, but I feel like I don't know if that was intentional, where they just didn't want people to know that it was a
that's the other thing is
they wanted people to think it was a reboot,
which is a weird move.
Yeah, that's odd to me.
Yeah, especially with today's audiences, because people are fucking dumb, and you really gotta like spoon. There's like I mentioned something about like a Scream. How it's great that Scream hasn't been rebooted, and someone's like, Scream got rebooted in 2022. That was a reboot, and I was like, did you not see the movie? And they were like, no, it was a reboot. I thought it was dumb, and I was like, it was Scream 5.
Yeah,
it still had the fucking. Are you? Yeah. Did you not see a trailer? Or like, how did you think that was a reboot?
Right.
Oh, I didn't realize it was a sequel, and I'm like, this information is readily available to you
in the movie.
Yeah,
it's weird how many people like it really feels like just want something to say and just haven't watched these movies at all.
Yeah.
And it's like,
well, that and like, I think I blame the fact that they use the same title.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people like still the same exact thing with The Thing. Where if I see one more fucking person online called the Thing 2000, when did it come out? 2011?
Yeah, I think 2011.
Call that a remake, I'm gonna lose my shit.
Yeah,
like I want to set like
I'm doing it commit arson already.
You know what I mean? Like I want to just set things on fire because it's like they follow a totally different group of people.
Yeah,
they follow the Norwegians, Mac. Like what the fuck? So I think it's a subconscious thing where they just see the title and go, "Oh, they remade it."
Yeah.
Well, and that's what Scream was doing because they were like, "Oh, the new one's going to be called just Scream." And like, that's really dumb. Is it not a fifth movie? And they're like, "No, this is a meta commentary on the fact that these fucking requels keep just like Halloween 2018, The Thing 2011, Candyman 2021, like just fucking call it a sequel."
Right.
But yeah, a lot of people didn't know that. Every time I talk about Candyman on TikTok, there's somebody in the comments who's like, "Oh, I didn't realize it was a requel. I thought it was a complete like just remake." And I'm like, she's in the fucking trailer though. The mom is in the trailer.
I feel like the irony
like when he
here,
says, "I heard the story about Candyman," she's like, "Don't say that." Everyone was like, "Oh shit, she's back for this one. It's got to have ties to the original somehow."
Yeah. What were we gonna say there?
Sorry. Just the irony here is that we definitely all don't call the 80s The Thing the remake, but it is the remake.
Yeah. Well, at least it had
that one transcends it. It's like when,
but it's also a different title.
Well, it is also a different title, but it's also like that's when Johnny Cash did Hurt.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's
no longer.
It's now that the 1950s one is a pre-make.
Remake. Okay.
Yeah.
It's pretty much the only movie where this kind of applies, though. I can't think of it.
Yeah, for sure. The Fly is up there.
The Fly and the Blob are probably up there.
The Fly and the Blob,
yeah. Those three films are.
I love those originals though.
They are.
They're
really
great. They really are great, especially Thing from Another World. I fucking love that movie.
Yeah.
Like it's so for the time, it's so fucking good. I can understand why that impacted John Carpenter the way it did.
Could you imagine like not having seen anything that we've ever seen, and then you see that as a kid?
Yeah, as a kid,
your fucking head would explode.
Yeah.
Have you done an episode on that one yet?
Yeah, but it's just me and James.
Yeah, I'm always down to revisit The Thing
because I feel like that could be a fun The Thing, The Fly, The Blob. Originals.
Ooh, yeah, that would be fun.
It's the trilogy.
The trilogy.
Yeah. What were we talking about before all that? Oh yeah,
requels and reboots and premakes and how anyone who says The Thing 2011 is a remake needs to be.
Yeah. I wish. Halloween.
Wow.
Like I damn. Skirting over that one.
No, out of a cannon. Like
out of a cannon. Yeah,
out of a cannon. Into the northern wilderness. Into an ice lake.
There it is.
Point blank into a wall. The Halloween is the only one where I look at it and I'm like, okay, I could understand it because it was supposed to be a sequel to the original. You couldn't call that Halloween 2. I mean, I guess you could call it Halloween 2. But it'd be the third Halloween 2. Yeah. So I understand at that point they were just like, let's just call it Halloween.
I think the third Halloween 2 would have been awesome. That would have been.
They should have called it Halloween 2 TOO
this October. The third Halloween 2.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Or Halloweener.
They just keep going.
Even Halloweenier
with those titles. Yeah. Halloween again also. Yeah.
Another goddamn Halloween.
Yeah.
I know what you did last Halloween.
Third time in a row.
I still know what you did last Halloween.
Yeah, I still know what you did. I'll always still know what you did last Halloween.
I ain't never gonna forget what you did last Halloween.
Yeah. Bitch. You did.
That shit was fucked up.
Yeah.
Ooh. It's just Jennifer Love Hewitt going after Michael Myers.
She's gonna be in the new one.
No,
I know what you did last summer.
Yeah, not the new Halloween, but yeah, she's gonna be in the I Know What You Did Last Summer also a requel that's probably going to be fucking called I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Yeah, it is going to be called I Know What You Did Last Summer.
What you did.
No, if it's a requel
summer.
like 20 years later, so it should be like somebody just reminded me of what you did last summer.
That was fucked
so
up.
I just remembered what you did last summer.
So I was going through my storage room earlier, and I saw this this photo album that reminded me of what happened a few summers ago.
That's the whole title of the movie.
Yeah. Do you guys know anything about this?
Several summers ago.
Yeah. Hey, do you guys know anything about what happened a couple summers ago?
Oh yeah, let me tell you.
And then a prequel. I know what you're going to do next summer.
Yeah,
that'd be sick.
It's a time travel space movie.
Yeah,
somebody invents a wormhole in part 3 to go back to the prequel.
Yeah,
and then there's we can do the Poirot crossover where it's what are you gonna do this summer?
Oh, wow.
Perfect,
dude. I think that's money right there.
Yeah, we got to write this down and get it to the studio so they know
I'm on it.
Somebody would buy it. Somebody would buy it.
Develop
for
it.
sure.
Buy it. They're listening to this. Get ideas as we speak.
Who put out Candyman 3? Let's find a contact there.
Boy, do I have an idea for you.
Yeah.
What's his name? Alakazam?
Are they still in business?
Yeah, Alakazam.
Yeah.
I couldn't find anything on what Tony Todd said after the movie came out, but when they were in development for the 2021 Candyman, he said, I hope I can be a part of it in some capacity. I would love to continue the legacy of this Candyman, and I feel like it makes sense, but it's also Hollywood, so I won't take it personally if they can't make it happen, but we're just waiting to hear from Jordan. And I know he's a fan, so apparently I don't know if he was already tapped to have his appearance and was just lying to the interviewer to try to keep it a secret. But that was all I could see was.
I'm really glad that they ended on him.
Yeah,
like that was a perfect shot. It was a perfect way to bring him back. As always, I just wanted more of him.
Yeah, that shit gave me chills in the theater though, because it gets to a certain point where you're like, oh, Tony's not in this movie, and then that happens, and you're like, oh, fuck yeah, all right.
Yeah.
One thing I do want to, since we're talking about that scene specifically, so are the bees making him float, or is he just floating and the bees are around his head? Yeah, the bees are like carrying him by their stingers.
Yeah. It's the power of the
that
bees.
doesn't sound comfortable at all.
No, well, I mean, he's Candyman.
Well, I mean,
they live inside of him. He is a hive.
Yeah, they're picking him up. They're helping him out.
They are covered in honey, so that makes sense.
Yeah,
they just stick to his face, and they're like,
they stick to it. Yeah, exactly. And he's like, just keep going, guys. Like, we got this. And then he just pretends that he's flying.
See, it's
to add some theatrics.
Do you think he gets? It's like a cloud around his head. Do you think he gets mad at the ones that aren't actually like connected to him, that are just kind of floating off in the space?
No,
like, you guys aren't doing enough work here.
You're not pulling your weight.
Yeah, come on. Your weight is me. I'm your weight.
Yeah,
you got to pull me.
Or I wonder if he's like in the middle of that beehive and he's like, don't fall. I'll look like such an asshole right now if I fall. I can't see shit.
Oh, jeez.
Gate.
Whoa.
Right. No, do right, left.
Think of these overcorrecting bees. Oh man!
I hope so many. I hope the people who are listening to this understand how funny that fucking is. If you don't, if you guys are just listening to us and going, "What the fuck are they talking about?" Please go watch the movie.
Yes,
it's worth it. It's really good, actually.
Yeah,
it's the movie that we've completely spoiled for you now. I don't know why you would listen to this without knowing anything about it going in.
An hour and a half in. Don't spoiler alert, watch Candyman 4 before you listen to this.
Yeah. Don't watch Candyman 3. You don't need to do that.
You don't
do
that
to yourself.
Just don't.
Speaking of Candyman 3.
Okay, good.
I'm scrolling through the IMDb trivia. Come on, Derek, find something cool to share. And I'm at the bottom. It just says it's the third film in the Candyman series. Thanks. IMDb trivia.
Film is generous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, third is almost generous.
Yeah. The studio behind Candyman 3 was Artisan Entertainment. Once considered one of the largest mini-major film studios, but was purchased and folded into Lionsgate. So they've been defunct for 20 years now.
Yeah.
But Artisan also put out Requiem for a Dream, Pi, which is one of my favorite movies, Killing Zoe, The Blair Witch Project, Grizzly Falls, Novocaine, which is another fantastic film, Steve Martin, and National Lampoon's Van Wilder.
Wow.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Van Wilder makes sense.
Yeah.
Similar vibe.
I remember them. They were the ones that
3?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I remember that was the same studio that did Blair Witch.
Yeah.
That was probably why, well, it's not probably why Candyman 3 was the way that it was. But because they both came out at the same year, and Blair Witch obviously took over everything.
Yeah.
They also both look like they cost the same amount to make.
Because Candyman 3 was in the running for movie of the year. If it wasn't for Blair Witch.
Yeah, if it wasn't for Blair Witch, Candyman 3 would have gotten more attention.
For sure.
Those goddamn
I don't know
kids
if that
in
would be a good
movie.
thing, but it would have gotten more attention.
Yeah.
They should have had more boobs, dude. And it would have.
One of my notes is this movie
Could
is for
Candyman
fans.
3 have had more boobs?
One of my notes is this movie is for fans of boobs and blood, and somehow that's a bad thing.
Yeah,
that's funny.
Like,
that's good.
I don't get it. It's
me neither. Me neither. Product of the times. What's the Rotten Tomatoes on that piece of shit? Sorry, everybody. Sorry.
I'm sure all those fucking Candyman 3 apologists are so upset right now.
I want to find him because I went on Letterboxd and literally nobody likes this movie. Because I try to find at least like a 3 or 4 star review where someone's like, I thought it really did this well with the story, but everyone's just like, cannot believe I wasted my fucking time with this dog shit film. Sorry. Go ahead.
Candyman 3 has 7% tomato meter.
Ooh, wow.
22%, which is not audience score anymore. It's popcorn meter. I guess I'll start calling it that.
Weird.
And then, Letterboxd.
Isn't it technically the audience, though?
It should be because this was straight to DVD also. So
I think they just renamed the audience score to popcorn meter now.
Yeah.
What if it was specifically what popcorn?
So they can say it's certified hot.
Yeah. It's and then Letterboxd, it's a 1.8.
Ooh,
jeez!
Wow.
And then
because I haven't put my 5-star rating in yet.
Yeah, do it, dude. It'll jump it up to 1.9. I bet. So Candyman, the fourth one, 84% tomato meter, 72% popcorn meter, and a 3.1 on Letterboxd.
I feel like it could be a little bit higher on Letterboxd, but at least people liked it.
Yeah.
Are any of you worried about the fact that we've said Candyman about fucking 500 times?
That's it. But we didn't say it all at once.
Say it into a mirror.
But we're looking at
this
ourselves.
Is a reflection. This is a reflection. But nobody said it 5 times consistently.
Fucked.
This is not a reflection. I refuse to call this a reflection by definition. There's
well,
no way.
if
glasses.
I was like, I can see myself in your glasses sometimes, Derek.
But I can see myself. It's a camera. I'm looking into a camera.
Yeah.
What if I just bring in a camera? Just bring in a mirror.
Reflection.
Yeah.
Black mirror.
I don't know. Yeah, I've tried it. I said Candyman in the mirror 5 times for a TikTok once. Ain't shit happen.
I did it as a kid. I'm still here.
I never did it.
I did Bloody Mary.
Wait.
Wait, I have a great idea though.
But yeah,
if you just have Dre cut in fucking Candyman killing us.
But yeah, I've never done it. But I also like, I don't in the films, were they always in a mirror, or did they?
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember in the second one,
surface of some sort.
In the beginning, the authors, when he's in the book tour, does
his
he have
book
a
is a
mirror
mirror.
Doing that?
No, his book is
his book
like a
is reflective, right?
Cover,
thing.
Which is not a mirror.
Yeah,
but does that actually count, or does he do it again in the bathroom?
No, he doesn't do it again in the bathroom.
No, I don't think he does it
He
again.
gets murked in the bathroom.
Yeah, that's right. In the beginning, whenever Anthony and his girlfriend, whenever he's saying it, I thought that he was looking in a TV or like a
I think he was.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't know. I think a webcam.
No, I thought he was looking at something on the wall, like a window.
I remember it was dark. I remember it was a dark reflection.
Yeah.
So
that was pretty fucked up.
Black.
Like she kept telling him to not do it.
Yeah, I thought it was.
Why was it fucked up? Like, was it fucked up on his part or her part?
Yeah, on his part.
On his part,
he was just trying to scare her. I don't think he was like, he didn't believe it at that point. He didn't believe it at that point.
But then she tried to do it, and he insisted that she not do it, and then he lashed out and broke the mirror.
Yeah,
he was like, "Do not say that."
I really liked that reaction that she was like, "I'm fucking gone." Like, no, like, and I also love the part when when she's at the fucking laundromat and she looks in the basement, and she's like, fucking nope, and just walks away. I was like, yes, fucking finally. Never happens.
Yeah, she's smart.
Yeah.
Although if I start painting really weird, fucked up men and having a clearly psychotic break, don't just leave me to be kidnapped and have my hand cut off.
I'm not going to leave you to be kidnapped. I'm going to make sure that you're safe so that we can make some money off this shit.
Yeah,
I did see so many people commenting on like, oh, like it, and we kind of hinted at this too earlier in the episode of like, dude, like go get your hand checked out a little earlier than that.
Yeah.
But it's like when he was in a fucking like psychotic break, like turning into this fucking monster essentially.
Why didn't she say something to him?
That's weird.
Yeah, she never said
so
another
then you
word.
guys did comment that, which is true. Like everyone around him is not commenting.
Yeah,
on it.
Yeah,
like Burke is the only one where I'm like, yeah, right. Of course he would.
Yeah, he wants it.
Yeah,
they should.
Finally,
I've been waiting so long for this.
His skin will become a honeycomb soon.
That was good. Yeah, he should have just. I mean, I understand why he didn't care to cover his hand. Because he was off in his own little candy.
I've been in an art days, bro. I had my whole arm rot off once.
Yeah, it happens.
It's fucking wild.
Kimmy would drag my ass to the ER if my hand started looking like that. Also, she has trypophobia, so all the holes and stuff in his arm as it was developing. She was like, I can't fucking look at that. Like she wouldn't even be in the same room with me.
Those last shots where it was like all the way up, I was like, it's triggered. Baby.
That was really. Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, they did.
It's
a
fucked
really
up.
Good job.
Yeah,
I liked when the first painting he does, and he shows her, and asks for her feedback. Do you remember what she says? Because it kind of felt like, and maybe I'm misinterpreting this, which is funny because it's a quote about interpretation. But it kind of felt like she was describing the movie in a way, because she says it's a pretty literal approach, not much room for viewer interpretation, moving from the symbolism of violence to the actual depiction of it. And he said, yeah, but how does it appear to you? She says, it's painful. Like, it's kind of the movie is depicting painful fucking reality of the brutality of racism and cops that have been killing black people and never facing justice for fucking however many decades plus, if not, centuries.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was like that was an interesting quote on like, like it's the movie was kind of a literal approach. Like I mean, it's I don't know. I thought that quote it stood out because now again, like watching it for the second time, I didn't really remember that one the first time around, but
yeah, that's a good line.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one was very multi-layered.
Yeah, it's a really well crafted movie.
Yeah,
it does have a lot of those little moments and like quirks and then references or something that you pick up on the second time around. I love.
Yeah,
I mean, I love rewatching a lot of horror movies, but I really love watching a movie and then discovering a whole bunch of shit the second time I watch it.
Yeah,
This one's got a lot of that
for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sick.
Yeah, I'm still caught up on why do they just, this is, I'm trying to force content, but I'm also like on one of the Letterboxd reviews, I read it while you guys were talking, and in the back of my head I'm like, yeah, why do they keep saying it 5 times in the mirror? Like, just, it's such and I think we said this last episode, it's such an easy thing not to do.
Yeah, it's one of those.
Why
like,
are they doing it? Like,
like the whole time, it's that meme of like, well, I would simply just not say it 5 times.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
And it's like, oh, I do understand it, because like we know that it's dumb to say Candyman 5 times.
Right. Yeah,
we're watching the movies,
right?
Well, no,
but they're all like, oh, like it's a fucking bet, it's a dare, and it's like, I don't want to prove myself that bad.
Right.
Like,
the only one that out of all 4 of these movies, the only time that the only scene where somebody did it, where I was like, okay, that's spot on, is the teenage girls in the bathroom in this last one. That felt organic. Like that felt like it actually would be something that would happen. Much like in Paranormal 3, whenever they go into the bathroom and say Bloody Mary.
Yeah.
Like those scenes, like it works best whenever you play on the kid element of trying to scare you and your friends.
It even levels it, because it's like it's from the shot of her saying, who would be stupid enough to do that? And then it goes to like the white like high school girl.
5 white girls.
Funny. Yeah.
It's too good.
I mean, that's we did it in high school because it was a stupid dare, and you didn't think anything would actually happen. But also the first people say it because that was his art installation, was he was like, we've got this whole thing inside of here, and then having it behind a mirror challenges you to say his name 5 times. Like, if you don't think it's a real threat, then do it to get the full experience.
When you guys did it, did you feel like, I feel like that's one of those things where it would probably play on your, just, I don't know, give you weird sense of anxiety. Like, you know nothing's going to happen, but by the time you say like it 4 times, you're like, fuck.
Oh, yeah. Especially as a 10-year-old
as a kid,
doing
it.
But,
Well, also, Justin, remember when you met me, I didn't have any friends.
What?
They're all dead because they fucking got
because he said Candyman 5 times.
Yeah, I didn't have any friends just because I was a weird kid. So I took that a little bit too literal. You're over here talking about child murder.
What about you, Derek? Why didn't you have any friends?
Derek has so many friends.
What about you, Derek? Why did you commit child murder?
Yeah, Derek had so many friends. I already, you know it.
The best friends.
Yeah, Derek had great friends.
The best friend.
So many friends.
So many friends.
Too many friends.
No, just a fucking loser.
Welcome to the Creep-O-Rama self-loathing hour.
Right.
That's what happens at 10 o'clock on a Sunday. You guys have anything else? Or should we just all say Candyman 5 times?
I think you guys get any friends?
You guys got any friends? Me neither.
Right here. No.
End it right there, Dre. Let's end it right there, dude.
Oh, fuck.